Right, obviously, people are going to know with my style, I do ask some of the questions maybe other people don't. So I have one here that's about Tasteless, who, by the way, I have a great amount of affection for. I think he's a brilliant commentator, one of the best personalities, which you can already tell if I'm setting up like that, it's going to be a little bit spicy. So the question goes like this. And you know what? I think if I phrased it right, even he wouldn't mind this. Basically, as far as I can tell, because I do remember the Tasteless that first went to Korea in Brood War and was living and dying in StarCraft Brood War, and he himself was like, he would have done it for like, you know, a packet of peanuts and somewhere to sleep for the night. Like, he really was a guy that wasn't about like money and fame and stuff. That stuff came later, by the way, justifiably so. He put in his hard yards and he really earned that career. But the perception was, and I'll say this is a perception in the industry as well as some people thought, some of it maybe came through on camera, he himself, like I said, was the one-man casting. He didn't need a duo. He just did the whole thing himself. He was the colour commentator, which is brilliant. He knew the game. And he was obviously the voice. He had a voice that was very different back then, before whatever changed his voice. I don't know. Whiskey. Who the fuck knows? I'm not an expert on that one. But something changed his voice. Look, by the way, got one of the best fucking smoky voices of all time now, I will say. So he even locked out in that sense. But when he came to StarCraft 2, the perception was maybe he wasn't in love with StarCraft 2 as much as you are. Maybe he wasn't the guy who wanted to be in every demo or watching all the Korean ladder. That's why I always thought, because he had you, he maybe became more of the entertainer, and he maybe didn't make his voice the main thing in the car. Without being rude here, obviously I'm sure he did his research over the years, and as you say, he worked on the duo. How would you explain this side of it? Like, was Tasteless different in StarCraft 2 from Tasteless in Brood War?
Yeah, I think he was. And I mean, I think I was a little bit as well. I played StarCraft 2 a bit more than him. Like, he played a real lot in the early years, but as we got deeper into StarCraft 2, both of us stopped playing quite as much. Like, it's just like kind of all encompassing for my life, StarCraft is. So I still always play games that I'm casting quite a bit. But with Tasteless, like, I think we just were focusing so heavily on the commentary aspect that it's like, if you look at him going to Korea for Brood War, it's like, okay, he's played Brood War nonstop for 8 years or something when he went over to Korea. And like, that has been his life for 8 years. So it's like, he's played all the time. He knows everything about it. And now suddenly there's a job. Whereas from day one, basically in StarCraft 2, or, you know, after the beta, at least, as the game is being released, it's our profession. It's our job. So it's definitely like a different start there without the wind up of playing for years and years and years and figuring everything out. So when there's a heavier focus, I guess, on the commentary, then I think that's kind of how that comes through, where it's just not, there's not that kind of build-up period. And I mean, I know for sure that he does like Brood War more than StarCraft 2, but he really likes StarCraft 2 as well. So we've definitely seen that, those things like posted about him and said about him in the past. And it's like, well, I mean, I guess so, but like, even with me, like, I do like Brood War a bit better than StarCraft 2. I love both of them. I watch both, you know, I commentate both, but at the end of the day, you know, everyone has their preference, I guess, as far as game.
See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, you know, be a pleb and don't.